Welcome to the Blues Society of Northwest Florida's weekly podcast. I am your host, Paul Stadden, and this week I'll be speaking with Randy Bridges, bass player for the DizzyJuke band. You can see them hit the stage this Monday night at the Blues Jams in Lily Marlane's in Seville Quarter, right downtown in Pensacola. Make sure you drop some cash in the snare drum at the front to help keep this organization going. We'd also like to thank our great sponsors, Michael Johnson State Farm, Budweiser Beer, Lewis Bear, Seville Quarter, Paradise Bar and Grill, The Music Box and Gulf Breeze, Revolver Records, Blues Angel Music, ARC Music, and Five Sisters Blues Cafe. This week's track is Jump, Jive, and Wail as performed by the DizzyJuke band, and right after, we'll speak with Randy Bridges.
Jack and Jill went up the hill to get a pail. Jack and Jill went up the hill to get a pail. Jill stayed up to learn how to drive and well. Come on, come on, come on, jump, darling. Get the well, 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 get the well. Well, yeah, well, you better go ahead and wail.
Randy Bridges is the bass player for the DizzyJuke band, along with Warren Hauntz on drums, Joe E. Fingers Fuller on keys, and J.B. Lawson on guitar and lead vocals, and he joins me on this week's Blues Society of Northwest Florida podcast. Welcome, Randy.
Thank you.
Well, let's talk a little bit about how you and the rest of the band hooked up and became the DizzyJuke band. How'd you guys get together?
Well, Joe Fingers and I have been playing together for a number of years. I had, quit playing and picked back up around 2005. Joe was a friend of mine, and then we played in a couple local bands together. Anyway, moving forward, JB moved down from New Jersey, and a friend of his, Edmo, from the Beale Street Bottle Club, gave me a call one time and asked me if I could put something together with J.B. Lawson. So I had recently been at a practice for another group with Warren, and thought he would, fit into the mix well. So, we all got together. basically the rest is history.
Well, tell me a little bit about JB. I know he moved out from Georgia. I've seen him, when I Google his name, I see him on lists in Chicago and Philadelphia and all sorts of places. What got him down to Pensacola?
Well, basically, he lifelong friends and stuff. He was his friend Edmo and Gwen. They knew each other from New Jersey and stuff, and they enticed him to move down south. JB was originally born in Georgia. He was the son of a sharecropper, and has some real tales to tell you. He's been on the backside of a mule plowing fields and stuff. As a kid and teenager, he listened to the radio, and
Right.
most of the his fans were country music stars back in the 50s.
Well, what got you into blues, Randy? Who are your influences?
Well, early on, I happened to I was living in Europe in the 60s and stuff. Graduated from high school over there, and so I was more introduced from the British invasion side, albeit in Europe and stuff.
Right.
My early influence, I can remember Chaz Chandler from the Animals. I particularly liked his style of playing and stuff. One of the highlights early in my life was to be able to see Jimi Hendrix in 1966
Oh, wow.
before he was actually well known or anything.
Well, you guys definitely sound like you just stepped out of like the late 50s or early 60s. I get a definite R&B, early blues rock sound from you guys. Do you guys kind of come in with a melting pot of different influences? Because you're talking about seeing Hendrix and listening to JB, and JB's kind of got more of the B.B. King kind of soulful thing going on. Do you kind of have like a melting pot going on in the band?
I think that would be a very accurate description, Paul. And then you take the Professor Longhair and Fats Domino style of Joe Finger,
Right.
and throw that into the mix, and it's really hard to describe. We're sort of boogie woogie, jiving, almost a little country influence.
Yeah.
It's hard to say, one way or another what we really are.
Yeah, you guys don't have an empty dance floor when you guys get up and start playing. I think that's the fairest way to say it.
That's correct.
I love it. Do you guys have any plans to record any albums?
Not at the present time. JB had some serious health issues last year. He was involved in a horrible automobile accident and almost died. He has been on the mend since this past summer, and he's actually just now, getting back with us. In the meantime, I've been using Dan Taylor from Seattle.
Yeah.
A guitar player that, oh my gosh, Dan is wonderful. And, the timing and stuff, he had moved into Pensacola right before JB's accident.
Right.
And we were acquainted at the Blues Jam.
Yeah.
And stuff. He sort of stepped in and took over for JB while he was recovering.
Well,
JB is back. We were at the Jam last week.
Yeah, I saw him play. He was fantastic.
Oh, great! I did. I'm sure you were there. There were a lot of people there at last week's thing.
For Sean Curl. Yeah. No, but listen, you're not going to go wrong with Dan. He's a fantastic player, but I'm thrilled to hear that JB is back on the mend and doing well. And I will say, from having seen him, he sounds fantastic. He's playing fantastic. So I'm really glad to see him back fronting your band. He will be playing with you Monday night, right?
Not sure.
Okay. Hopefully, crossing the fingers.
Yeah, if he's up to it, I've got him on the schedule full time starting next month.
Okay.
And stuff. He's getting his strength back. That's one of those things. I wish he were back with us a month ago.
Well, either way, you guys are going to put on a great show. We hope that our fingers are crossed that JB is going to be able to do it, but we know that either way, it's going to be a great show with the DizzyJuke Band. I have one final question for you, Randy. It's a question I ask every single week of every single guest. What do you think?
Okay.
What do you think the blues should be? Should it be purely in one era, one style, like Delta blues, English blues, Chicago blues, or is there room for all these different mixes that we have, like blues rock, blues jazz, even blues metal? Should it be stuck in one thing, or should it be more expansive?
I think the expansive nature is what really makes the blues.
Okay.
I personally, grew up probably more of a rock-oriented person, and it was
Right.
later in life that I discovered blues and stuff, largely in thanks to the Blues Society of NorthWest Florida and Mike Downs, the job that he's done there.
Appreciate you spending these 10 minutes with me, Randy. Thank you for the time, and we hope the JB is going to be doing well.
Oh, you're very welcome, and I thank you for the opportunity.
And if you want to hear live blues every Monday, there's only one place you need to know. Lily Marlane's in Seville Quarter for the Blues Society of Northwest Florida Blues Jams. Drop some bucks in the snare drum at the front. It helps the Blues Society send bands to the International Blues Challenge in Memphis, Tennessee every year, as well as the Blues Jams every Monday night. We'd also like to thank our sponsors, Michael Johnson State Farm, Budweiser Beer, Lewis Bear, Seville Quarter, Paradise Bar and Grill, The Music Box and Gulf Breeze, Revolver Records, Blues Angel Music, ARC Music, and Five Sisters Blues Cafe. Thanks for listening, Pensacola. I am Paul Stadden, your host every week for the Blues Society of Northwest Florida podcast, reminding you to keep the blues alive.
Yeah. Well, you better go ahead and wail.